Hi, everyone, and welcome to day 5 of the Craftist Advent Calendar. So, today we are going to be working on gift tags. The fun thing about this project is we're going to be using some watercolor paper that has already been used and you don't like. So, I have some projects that I don't like. I've been using this kind of as a paint palette, and now I'm going to add on to this particular one, make one set of gift tags. And then for the other one, I'll just use a project that never got finished. You can see some stuff seeps through on the back, but this is going to be okay. So for this one, you're going to need watercolor paper. It could be used up on the other side. It could not be, sort of very much up to you. And then a paintbrush and some water. Let's get started. Oh, and of course, scissors at the end to cut our gift tags out. Let's get started. So for this, I already taped down my paper. It doesn't have to be taped down super well. I like that this is all kinds of chunky with paint, and a lot of what's on this one is not watercolor. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw some more water on it. You could use a bigger brush if you wanted to. And then looking here, I don't know that I necessarily want to have a color palette, but I know I'll probably just start with grabbing some orange and throwing that in. Now this is watercolor, so it's just going to get all swirly and go in where the water is. So from here, I might take it to a little bit of a red, kind of run the red this way towards the brown, and maybe a little bit into the orange. And you could always add more water and more color. And then I think we might play with a little bit of blue, kind of going in here and connecting this into a pinkish purple. Now I do also have this like metallic watercolor palettes. I think I'm going to grab this gold color. Just has a little bit of sparkle in it. And throw that in there. And that sparkle's looking quite nice. So my eye might just add some more over here. And then maybe just for fun, I'll use some of this blue sparkle right by the blue one. And there we go. A little muddy, but also kind of colorful and fun. So for this one, I am going to use a bigger brush to do a big chunk of my whole sheet here. And again, I am just laying down water. So this is very easy. You're just dropping in some color. For this one, I am going to start with a lot of the blue. Ooh, look how those pretty. And then if you want, you can always add more color to these puddles. Kind of help with the vibrancy and intensity. And then I think I was going to do just regular green, so I think I'll do that. Ooh, pretty. And again, you can always grab more pigment and add that in there. You can decide if you want these things to run into each other or sort of just exist as their own separate little lakes. And then I think, again, I like these metallics. So I might grab this really pretty light color here. It's like a light green. So let's see what that would do if I add that, to the sparkle. It's very similar to the green I already have, but it is giving me a little bit of that iridescence. And then I already activated this kind of goldish color, so I might do some drips with it into some of these areas as well, because it's a really nice metallic. My dog is wrestling with the corner of the wall, so that is what you're hearing right now. Ooh, I like this one a lot. I really like this bronzy bronze in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over. Actually, I'm going to do something slightly different here. This did sort of get a little bit muddy, so I think I'm going to grab maybe my green and just do a happy little spatter all over it. And then let that dry. Actually, while I'm spattering, let's just grab this bronze I love as well. And spatter it all over. Just give it a nice little metallic. Give it some shimmer, some glitter, some holiday sparkle. Yeah, I couldn't stop there. I had to go to this one as well. And now comes the hard part. We're going to have some patience and let these guys dry. I've sped the drying process up with a blow dryer. So here's how these turned out. I don't know if the light's picking up. I think it is the glimmer of them. Like the metallic watercolors were definitely a fun touch for these. And this is just like a splatter page. So these aren't particularly great. Let's see what happens when we dress them up into gift tags. So I tried like freehanding a gift tag. And just to show you like how uneven it is when you fold it in half, like it does not line up at all. So I am folding it in half. This is gonna be my pattern. And I'm just cutting this down so that it is a size that I like. And I think these are a nice little tag. So what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to use this trusty gold marker since I have it right here. And I'm going to pick areas that sort of look interesting to me. And I am going to trace out my tags like so. When I cut these, I am going to try to stay within the lines of the gold. And yeah, so here's how these are going to turn out. Let's trace some more. So here I am cutting out the tags. First, I'm going to trace them, like I said, with the gold marker. I'm doing all of them. I'm not necessarily going for like the most that will fit on the thing, but I'm going with the shapes that I like and separating those out. And then I just grab my scissors and I cut out each shape. As I'm cutting these out, I'm trying to be mindful of making sure that I'm still leaving a little bit of the gold line in. And if that's something you want as well, you could obviously always go in there and just add it later. But I really like how it looks once you leave the gold line in. Once I have all of these, I grab my 3-hole punch and just punch a hole in the center of each of these. And here they are. I love them. I am so pleased with these little things. I really thought this was going to turn out to be a kind of stupid idea, especially as I was working on it more. But I mean, these are so cute. Once you have them all, like I really, really love these blue and green ones and how they turned out. These guys, they're still really, really cool. I mean, this one's really neat. I like how this has like actual dimensional paint on it. You really feel in this like the difference in your watercolor paper quality. But again, because the point of this was to be kind of an anti-consumerist advent calendar where you don't go out and buy a bunch of things, you just use the stuff you have. I'm really glad I'm trying this and doing this craft. There is a part of me that wishes I had like a really skinny gold gel pen to write on this with, which I don't. And I'll just write with the one I have or with like a small Sharpie and do little itty bitty highlights. But yeah, I hope you guys try this out. This is really easy, incredibly satisfying. You could paint multiple sheets at a time, so you're doing more of it at a time. So yes, this concludes day 5 of the Craftist Advent Calendar gift tags. I hope to see you here tomorrow. Bye.